If you want to get free traffic from both Google and AI search, then you need to get backlinks to your website. Because yep, and not just an SEO thing, AI search also uses them to rank and understand the best content to share when someone searches. The thing is, there's so many different link building techniques out there to choose from, so which should you use? Well, they all work to some degree, but here's my 4 favorites that work in 2026, 3 of which also build brand authority, which is another AI search ranking factor. Better still, you could do all of these on your own without needing to hire an agency or build a team. Oh, and as a quick side note, hi, I'm Dan. I've been writing content online professionally for over 12 years now. I've been read by about 6 million people or more. My guides and tutorials have also been referenced by big SEO companies and thought leaders like Ahrefs, Backlinko, Viperchill, Neil Patel, Ryan Deiss, and more. So this info is legit. With that out of the way, let's get into this. So method number 1, being a source for journalists. This one is kind of meh, but it's such a low effort that I recommend it for everyone. You can literally do it in 5 minutes while your kettle boils. So here's how it works. Journalists always want expert or unique sources for their content. So they post on specific websites like Connectively, Quoted, Featured, and Help a B2B Reporter, saying what their story is about and what sources they're looking for. All you need to do is check these requests and then answer them if they're relevant to you. Then if they pick you, you'll get a backlink, usually to the homepage of your website. Easy, right? Now, homepage links won't increase the rankings of a specific article, but it will raise your domain rating, which will then help every other page on your site rank a little bit higher so you get a little bit more traffic. This method can definitely be a bit hit and miss, and you might not find something for a few days, but it's just a 5-minute task to just check and reply. When it works, it's awesome. I've managed to get DR 80+ links from major news networks, as well as links from websites that I can never get in front of usually. I've literally pitched them before and been ignored, and then replied to a request and got a link. So, do these links affect AI search traffic? Well, it depends. If you can get quoted for something you're known for, that's your expertise, then yes. But if it's just a random backlink because you wanted the link, and you're talking about a passion project or an interest, then no. So for example, I've had links from major business sections in Forbes and places like that talking about marketing. But I've also been featured and got a link to chat about my weight loss journey. So both links help my site, but only the one of them will really affect AI search when it comes to customers finding me. The good news though is the next 3 methods all affect AI and regular search channels regardless. So method number 2 is to be a podcast guest. This is such an underground method, but it's my absolute favorite. It's super low effort, but you get really powerful backlinks, as well as traffic and sales, and it affects AI search. So most link building methods only have an impact on your organic traffic, but this one just has so many benefits. All you need to do is pitch podcasts and get on as a guest. You want to make sure that the topic you pitch them on aligns with what you do, while also being about something that you know their audience will love. That way you can chat about it and reference content during the episode. This will get the listeners to click across, but it also means that the show will link to it in their show notes. Some of these podcasts are DR 85+ links. Not only that, they also republish the episode to multiple podcast platforms, meaning you get a link from all of those also. That's not bad for 30 minutes chatting with someone like you would do with a customer, right? Like I'm chatting with you now. I cannot state enough just how well this technique works. So when my website was brand new, I did this same technique and it took my site from DR 0 to DR 50 in just 90 days. Now, if you don't know, if you're not like a big SEO nerd, domain rank is a score of how powerful a website is in SEO, and it goes from 0 to 100. It's not a straight line, it's more of a hockey stick curve. Most sites never get even as high as DR 50, and if they do, it can take them years. I did it in 3 months. I pitched 80 podcasts and I got on around 65 of them. It drove so much traffic and sales also. I had no idea that would happen, or at least I wasn't really thinking about it on the time. I just went on it for the backlinks and to share my expertise. But I ended up making about $100,000 in client work. Absolutely insane ROI for 30 minutes on each show. If I was stuck for time and I could only do one link building method, then this is the one. It's great for solopreneurs because you get the maximum amount of impact for the least amount of time investment. If you want to learn how to do this for yourself, check out the link in the description. Method number 3, write guest posts on other people's blogs. So this one seems counterproductive, seeing as you're writing content for other people that's going to help them rank, right? Add in the fact that it takes time and effort, and most people skip this technique, but please don't. Instead, I recommend adding it into your link building efforts once you have your core content on your own blog, the content that can help people sell, and you've got systems in place to help convert them into leads and then sell them by email and stuff. If you're not sure how to convert readers into customers, check out the other link in the description to learn my method that converts anywhere from 15 to 83% of readers into email subscribers. It can blow up your business regardless of the traffic volume. Anyways, more on the guest posting technique. Guest posting is definitely more effort than getting podcast links, but you don't need to be chatting on camera and you still get a definite link, which is great. So a lot of the other link building methods out there are kind of more passive outreach based, where you reach out to people and then hope that those people link to you. The thing is, a lot of them just can't be asked nowadays, which is why I love this method, because it's proactive. If you put in the work, you always get the link, rather than sending hundreds or thousands of emails with nothing to show for it, or just burning bridges because you've just let AI try and do it for you. Add in the fact, speaking of AI, that these are easier to do nowadays if you know how to write with AI as a writing assistant, and you can get them done much faster. However, this is important. That doesn't mean that you just tell AI the topic and churn out a one-click piece of junk article. Guest posts need to be high quality if you want to be accepted and to build a name for yourself. You won't get as much traffic clicking through as you would with podcast links from people listening, and then reading guest posts, but you can get some, but only if the content is good. This might be the first time they ever see you, so just don't phone it in. As for sites to pitch for guest posts, obviously you're better off finding sites that have your audience. That being said, if you just want powerful links, then I've got two recommendations. Web development agencies, i.e. people who build websites for customers, and web hosting companies. Both of these usually link back to themselves through the different sites and stuff that they build and whatever else. Because of that, they've usually got insanely high domain ranks. So a link from them can be as powerful as maybe 100 links from smaller sites. They also tend to have much easier application processes, so you can get accepted almost immediately. Also, this is another method that can help with branded search because you're being seen talking about what you know. So you're going to rank in AI, so it's definitely worth doing, especially if you go hard on this and do it properly. So I've got a client who did these and nothing else after he had written his main core content, and he just blew up out of nowhere. No joke, but I would see him everywhere on major marketing blogs. And because of this, he soon ramped up to around 20K a month in sales on his new website. Yes, because he ranked, so he was getting organic traffic now, but also because the guest post content was so good and really showcased his expertise, so he was actually getting a lot of sales from people clicking across. I know another guy who scaled up to $300,000 a month just from guest posting like an absolute madman. So there are definitely benefits of doing this right. However, there is one more method I want to share with you, and that's method Thor, which is to write data-backed guides. Okay, so this one is the highest amount of effort and they don't always pay off, but when they do, it's absolutely insane. They can get hundreds, sometimes thousands of links to your website with just one article. So here's how it works. Basically, you need to write an article that covers major data points that journalists and blogs in your industry would be interested in. So for example, let's say that I'm an email marketing platform like ConvertKit. I could write something about the open rates of email marketing, how effective it is, how much money you can make per email, etc., and back that up with new, unique data. It can be data that I've curated across the internet that no one else has found and brought together and drawn insights from, but better still if I have unique access to that data. In this case, as Kit, they'd have their own tool, but you could also run just a questionnaire to your audience and customers and see how they feel about it and how it's working for them. These are super simple, to find this data, but these kind of blogs love these stats because they're interesting to write stories around or prove a point. So for example, if I was to prove that email marketing is the highest ROI marketing channel, which it is, every single email marketing blog is going to write about that, especially if I can give like a unique number, like $4 per email subscriber. That's a lot of backlinks, right? And you can even update these articles every year and get more links from it every time you do. These guides build absolutely huge brand authority, trust, and expertise, and also help you stand out as an industry leader. They're also great for building AI search authority, but you have to make sure it's either a proven topic or one you're certain the journalists will care about. That's why if you're thinking of doing these as a solopreneur, I'd recommend doing these last and maybe just one per quarter to test it out. But if you can get them up and running, they can skyrocket your domain rating. So which of these is best? Well, like I said up top, each of these 4 methods can work for you. You just need to know how to do them properly. So watch this video next where I break down some of the nuances in my podcast link building method so that it not only gets links, but it also gets leads and sales.